Good evening and welcome to Thai PBS World tonight. Regarding the COVID-19 in Thailand, lately it seems the situation is under control, especially the single digit of new infection cases each day. But if we ask public health officials, probably they would want to say that never let your guard down and never underestimate the situation. In the Thai PBS World tonight, Khun Thep Chai Yong and me talk to Dr. Thanarak Phalitpat, Deputy Director General of Disease Control Department.
All the politicians who spoke expressed their appreciation for medical personnel in the fight against the success in the fight against the coronavirus. But there are a number of opposition MPs who have very strong reservations about some of the stringent measures that have been introduced and are still in effect. For example, the continuing closing of schools, the curfews, and the state of emergency. Do you have any reaction to that?
I think the situation at the moment, we are doing very well. We have very few cases that is local transmission. But still, I believe that we still have to be very careful. When we reopen too soon, there can be some problem and we have to reclose again. That is not something that we want. What we are trying to consider to do at the moment is that what is our priority? So far, I believe that we have been open a lot of business, a lot of places that is necessary for everybody. I can understand that there are still some places that they cannot really open to operate their full business, but they can still partially do something. For example, if we're talking about the nightclub or places that we can go out and have some drink, although they cannot open and have someone to come in and drink inside, but they can still sell some alcoholic beverage. That can be partially open, I would say that, although it will not help the business to be able to operate at the full as good as they can. But I think at the time, I think we are reasonable enough. We have seen so many examples from other countries, so we have to be very cautious.
And with the Songkran holidays, probably the government is going to consider having extra Songkran for people during July. Do you think it's a bit too soon for Water Splash Festival in July?
I would say that what the government is consider, I believe it is the holidays to replace those Songkran holidays. They haven't said anything about the celebration or other festival that they're planning. But I still think that having people giving them a holiday so that they can do something is good. Having a mass gatherings in July may not be a very good idea. I still think that if still people want to have Songkran like festival in July, I believe that we can still have it, but not in the way that we used to have it. We can have a celebration within our families. We can visit our families members, the one who we respect, and give them our respect, having water ceremonies, those kind of things. I think that would be great. That I'm not looking forward for a mass gathering event like what we used to have in certain areas in Bangkok or in other provinces.
Dr. Thanarak, the 1 trillion baht borrowing the royal decree has been passed among the 3 decrees, right? And the government intends to use part of the budget to help finance the boosting of the healthcare system in Thailand. So in the aftermath of the coronavirus, do you have any advice as to how the money should be spent in boosting the healthcare system?
I would say that our spending should be on the preparation for the next epidemic, no matter what diseases it should be. It may be the COVID return on the second wave, or it can be other pandemics that we surely will face in our lifetime. Johns Hopkins University report said that there is no countries really prepare for pandemics. And this one already showed us that we did not really, we prepare very well, but when the pandemic hits us, it still taught us a lot of things that we have to learn from them and have to improve. There are so many things that we can do.
During the House session last week, all the MPs, both government and opposition, spoke very highly of the role played by the village health volunteers for their contribution in helping fighting the pandemics. So how do you see the future of these volunteers, especially with the lessons learned from this pandemic?
I think they help us quite a lot, and that cannot be said enough. They work very well, and they have done quite a very good job. They help us on several fronts, not just doing quarantine. They identify a person coming in. They help us with health education, with risk communication. So they are doing quite a lot, and I see their values. What we at the Department of Disease Control and Ministry of Public Health would like to do in the next phase is that we would like to arm them with our digital technologies so that they can help us even more with those high-tech tools that we can have them use them. I think this would be also a very good plan for our laying down our fundamental work on our health volunteers.
And Dr. Thanarak, right now, many people have concern whether Thailand will face second wave of the outbreak of coronavirus. What's your assessment?
Last time I was asked this question, I would say that the reporter should not ask me. The reporter should ask this question to all Thai people. And it is very important for them to understand that what they will do will have an effect on the futures. If they let their guard down, if they are not very careful, if they go out without their face mask, they have a mass gathering event, they go out and bring with their friends, not be very careful. The answer is that, well, yes, of course, we may have the second wave. But if everybody is very careful with their lifestyle, if they still practice social distancing, they wash their hands frequently, they wear face masks wherever they go, and they be very careful going outside, then I would say that it is less likely that we will have second wave. It is not all or none. It should be the gradient of risk from very low risk to very high risk. So it's depending on how we behave in the next few weeks or next few months. That will be a good answer to whether we are going to have second wave or not. So I'm waiting to hear what Thai people will answer your question.
So they have to do their part if they don't want to see a second wave.
Just like Lord Buddha used to teach us, what we will do now will determine what will happen in the future.
So to have second wave or not, it depends on Thai people in cooperation, working together to fight it. And that's all from Thai PBS World tonight. Thank you very much for watching.